So I found several interesting opening positions.
Yeah.
But I'd like to like reach out to people working in that company.
Yep.
So what is a good period that you think to wait for them to connect with me and have a meet with me until I just apply to it? Because maybe sometimes I need to wait for a long time to get a connection. Um, I I think like I would. Is that a good way to apply anyway in a week, or I should wait for the connection and then apply through their referrals?
Yeah, it's a good and a tough question. There is no one right answer. One approach that I think is possible is you see a role and you apply. Okay, that's cover letter and resume. Then you immediately send 3 to 5 follow-up messages to people within the company. The first message goes to HR, which is, dear name, I've applied. This is a LinkedIn connection request.
Okay.
Because you're not going to have their email generally. You're only going to see them on LinkedIn. And it basically is, dear name, hope you are well, and it is a privilege to connect here. I have applied for the ABC role and would be delighted to discuss possible next steps. Connect here, your name. Okay. Their job is to fill that role. You are doing them a service by identifying yourself and your interests. So this is fair. This is a fair deal here. It's okay to just jump right in and say you're looking for this thing, because that's their job. But then the next thing you want to do is then to reach out to alumni. And so can you find 1 to 2 alumni in the firm at a high level? And network. So that's following the script, right? This is a bit of practicing what I call delayed gratification, right? So you are interested in the role, and there's a specific role, but we want to break the ice and follow the script before we mention that. And then the other thing to do is with just non-alumni seniors, alumni also at a high level, meaning director or above, doing the same thing. So this way, now, is there a chance that you'll get rejected right away from the ATS? So the risks, right, are immediate rejection by the ATS because you need the sponsorship or so on and so forth. This is, I don't think, such a big problem. Not a big problem if you are networking and following up. Because why? No one has actually met you yet. Right? It's just a computer. There's been no interaction between you and the company. It's just the computer spitting out a programmed result. So the risk is there, but I would say this is a relatively low risk, not a barrier if you get rejected, because you haven't been rejected. I mean, it's just a piece of paper. So I think the risk is low. And the pro of doing this is you don't want to wait too long and have the role disappear. Right?
Yeah.
And the other pro is that this is a practice and a discipline. See, roll, apply, follow up. If we do something else, which is then kind of like not applying and waiting, then it just becomes hard to track, and it's hard to kind of know where we are with those firms, and it becomes messy.
Mhm.
So I would say when you see an interesting role, you should go ahead and network and apply at the same time.
Okay. Okay. Not like waiting for one to connect, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
And then what we should do, and then when we are messaging these people, I think one thing that I was working with Elisa on was a similar topic is once you've applied, like Elisa has, 10 or 12 companies to which she's applied, and we're talking about doing the follow-up, just sending out, going into LinkedIn and identifying those people. And so what you're going to do at this point is to kind of get to that person is, well, we need to go into Sales Navigator. We need to identify, and then we filter on company name, and then we filter on 10 plus years of experience, and then we'll see what happens there, right? There might be hundreds of people within that. And then furthermore, we want to focus on if we're going to reach out to alumni, then we're going to filter by school to identify the alumni.
Mm.
And then otherwise, we're going to filter on title. So title, we're going to look for possibly director for HR or VP. We're also going to look on perhaps if it's in the case of HR, talent or human resources. And within about 2 or 3 minutes of jumping on Sales Navigator, we want to find basically the director of HR or head of talent or so on and so forth. The higher you go, the more likely they are just to forward your message or tell you to whom you should speak, because they're just so high up that they can't deal with the actual individual applicant. If they are professional, that's what they will do. So director of HR, head of talent, head of campus recruiting, if it's like a campus related job. These are all okay, right? And you might reach out to maybe 2 of these people. You might reach out to maybe 2 or 3 of these HR individuals. And then, so we're filtering. And then for the others who are the seniors or the executives outside of the HR team, we're just going to be doing a search on VP, director, partner, head, president, so on and so forth. And then we're looking for, if it's a huge company, we're not going to reach out to the president of McKinsey but if it's somebody who's a head over a division or so on and so forth. You could reach out to the president of a company. If it's a small company, you could reach out to the president of a large company, but you're probably going to have more like 3 to 5 people you want to reach out to who are the non-alumni. And again, this is for the networking. So the networking message is the same thing. It's the CSI. And then if they connect, it's the MTRA. And then we're following the script. Is that helpful?
Yeah, for sure.